Here's my 130 litre kettle. After I've done a couple of test runs, what I've ended up doing is moving my top element, or the upper element, down to the bottom here, so it's as low as it can go in the tank. Just as I should have known from my flake stand, the water below the element wasn't heating up as much as it should do, and without agitating it, it wasn't going to get any better. So that's working now. A bit of test, and I've just dumped the probe in the top there for the time being. This control box I've borrowed from a friend of mine, just to run some tests and see how it's working. What I need to do next is wrap a jacket around this thing and run some more tests, just check how the jacket works, how much the insulation affects the running of the kettle. But I'm pretty happy with how that's working now. I've got a bit of a leak there. That's just around the hose. I'm draining it out at the moment, so I can roll it around and fit this jacket to it and stuff. But that's where I'm at the moment. I'll come back when I've got the jacket on and probably got the head of the thing on. What I've got to do is get a probe of my own and set up my own PID controller, and then fit it into the head of my still, the existing still head that I use in my other videos. This is the jacket added about a day after my last video. It's a little bit rough, but it'll do. I've done a couple of tests with and without it, and there's a barely noticeable difference. So just a quick test, but over the length of a whole distillation run, that will be a noticeable difference, definitely. I've got my still head bolted onto there now. Actually, there'd normally be a chunk of 4-inch pipe in there. It wouldn't come straight off the top of that. Even in pot still configuration, I'd still have at least sort of half a metre to a metre of column there. I've got a adaptation here for a thermocouple probe, and here what I've done is taken a tri-clamp plate, drilled and tapped it. That probe has a 8mm thread on it. That probe has an 8mm thread on it, and I've just been able to screw it straight into there with a little bit of thread tape. So that's water vapor proof now, and that's how I'll be gauging the temperature from now on. I won't be using a visual thermometer. I'll have the PID controlling the temperature via that thermocouple. And that was the original idea behind having a tri-clamp fitting in the top of the head here, was that I can take it out and put different kind of sensors in there, or even bore another hole here. I could have a visual readout and a probe, but the readout will be on the PID anyway for the temperature from there. That's where we're at with that. I've got a spare hole now down here, so I dropped that element down. I could be really flashed in the term in George from Barley and Hops' phrasing. I could get some cool points by putting my thermometer in here and getting a temperature readout inside the kettle. I've never bothered with the temperature inside the kettle. That's not what I've governed things by. I've always gone by the temperature in the head, or in the thumper if I've been running a thumper, and what's happening at the spout on the condenser and what's coming out there. So, but it might just be interesting seeing what the temperature in the kettle is. I've been gauging these tests I've been doing by the temperature in the kettle, just to see how fast that raises, which begs the question for me as to what's the difference between the temperature in the kettle and the temperature in the head there, which I guess I'll find out soon enough. But that's where I'm at now. Jacket on there. A little bit unhappy with the way the jacket turned out, but and that stuff's fairly expensive. It's about $60 worth of builder's insulation there. Sorry, hot water cylinder insulation. Came from my building suppliers, and what I've done is just taken a 3 metre length, folded it in half, and wrapped it around the outside of that thing, and made holes and just gaffer taped it. Gaffer tape works great on this stuff. It looks a little hokey, but it just stops there's like a pink bat fiberglass fluff insulation inside this thing, and whenever you cut it, it just starts bulging out, and that stuff's nasty to deal with. It gets in your hands and give you skin irritation problems, so you don't want to go touching it, inhaling it. It's not cool stuff. So sealing the jacket up is a good idea.